Greetings, friends. So for the past few years, some animal rights advocacy group has paid to have this poster in public places in Toronto. And I've seen this poster on the subway train, maybe in the subway stations. Perhaps they've had it in other places too, but I do remember seeing it on the train. I don't know if it's still around, but it was around for some time. And I forget exactly what the text was, but the title and the picture there's a picture of a pig and a dog. And it says, well, I guess it was the dog on the left side and the pig on the right side. And it said, "Why love one and eat the other?" And then they're trying to show you how pigs are just as lovable as dogs. They're probably just as smart or smarter. By the way, I would personally think a pig is smarter than a dog. Someone was trying to tell me that, oh, a dog is as smart as a 3-year-old child, or some dogs. And that's not very impressive to me, even if it is true. I don't necessarily believe it. I don't know how you're measuring the intelligence. But if some dogs are, by some standard, as smart as a 3-year-old child, still pretty dumb. You know, all animals and humans, we've gotten to this very weird relationship, and I've talked about how people treat many of their pets like children. They get into loving relationships with these animals. They're even like substitutes for children. Anyways, so this poster was comparing the difference between the pig and the dog, and they were trying to say you should love both. But I think they were making a good point, but I think the effect of them making that point is the opposite. I think the natural conclusion to the person who reads that and considers that a pig is just like a dog, and yet we're eating the pig and we're not eating the dog, the person would say, and I would certainly say, yes, we should be eating both of them, or at least why not eat both of them? Yeah, I mean, they do that in some Asian countries right now. I think in some parts of Korea, or in China, probably, maybe in other countries too. And you know, I wouldn't personally want to eat dog meat. I think a dog is besides being a dirty animal, well, I mean a dumb animal, I was going to say it's dirty, and I don't know how it would taste. But yeah, it's quite popular in these countries, so there's no inherent reason that we ought not to do that in the West. I'm just saying I wouldn't do it myself, but I don't see why you can't view the dog on the same level as the pig, just like the animal rights advocates are saying. So I do agree with them. They made a good point there. We should eat both of them, or they should both be allowed to go to the market, to the chopping house. And I want to share 2 other observations to do with dogs here. It's related. You know, I'm just talking about the relations of humans and animals. And a lot of this has to do with the decadence you see in urban areas. I mean, it's a bit different if you're in a rural area. Maybe some people get into the same funny relationships with animals in rural areas too. It could be. But at least in a rural area, the dog serves a purpose for security. Maybe not always, but, you know, historically. Security and maybe hunting. And the cat catches mice. It does all these useful things that animals always did historically. And now we don't really need the animals technically, but we seem to need them emotionally and psychologically, and that's where you get into these really weird stuff. And with the internet, you see all this weird fucking shit online posted on social media. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Just apart from the internet, just in the real world, a few days ago I was just going for a walk. We've had a very nice autumn, very, very warm, fantastic weather, and it was the early afternoon, and I just went for a little walk in my neighborhood, and I was passing through a small park. And there's this little dog, one of those tiny miniature dogs, you know, the kinds of dogs that they would never have existed in nature, so to speak, but were bred over successive generations by humans to produce them, a kind of miniature Frankenstein dog. Okay, maybe not Frankenstein, but, you know, some sort of, almost like it's being genetically engineered. It would not survive in the wild for more than a few days. And it's got all the energy of a regular dog, a much bigger dog, and it doesn't realize that it's tiny, and it sizes me up, and it looked, maybe it was a little old, because it looked like it had one eye too big and one eye kind of blinking, and it was gray. So that grayness of the dog was giving me the sense, oh, maybe this is like an Alzheimer's miniature dog. And I just want to pass by it. And I'm not afraid of dogs. I mean, unless it's like a killer dog that has rabies, then sure. But I mean, some dog like that, I don't know where the owner is. It's not on a fucking leash. So that's kind of weird. And then so I walk by it, and of course my decision to go by the dog's natural reaction is to guard, to protect its territory. It doesn't matter that it doesn't own this park, but that's how the dog thinks. And it goes nuts, barking at me and, you know, growling at me. And I was not shocked at all. I kind of just stood there looking at it. And I just looked down at it, and there's like no one. And then I could see like the owner was on this jungle gym. Some dumb broad in her mid-20s. She's, what the fuck is she doing on a jungle gym? The hell is she doing? She left her dog off leash to just wander around. Okay, fine, you can do that. But she was like 40 yards away or more. And I said to the dog, and I really didn't care if anyone heard me, but there didn't happen to be really anyone around. I was like, I'm going to kick you in the fucking face. I said something like that. Like, yeah, I could kick you in the fucking face, and it might have been enjoyable to do that. Of course, with the modern laws we have, it probably wouldn't be a good idea. You know, someone could see me kicking that dog, and then I could have some problem with the law. So it's a shame that in the modern decadent West, there's all these laws that you know force you to treat a dog as like a human being. And people treat their dogs like humans. And it's like, no, that thing is liable to get kicked in the face and spun away like a soccer ball because it thinks it's this huge dog and it's not much bigger than a soccer ball. So that's what you know would happen in developing countries. You would just throw stones at dogs. They would run away, or you'd stone the dog to death. Okay, and then the third observation was watching this music video. I've talked about it in the past, sort of when I was talking about environmentalism, this Nine Inch Nails collaboration with this other artist, and it's kind of a sad song. So there was a really interesting comment, but this sort of comment that I'm going to read for you, it highlights sort of something you might see on social media. You might see it in other chat rooms. I don't know. I don't go into chat rooms, but you might see it on Facebook. But this is more random because it's YouTube. Maybe the people following this channel know each other, I don't know. But this man, and I'm assuming it's a man, I'm not going to say his name, but his profile picture, it's some manly-looking mid-20s man with a beard and mustache and sunglasses, and he's driving his car, and he's in the car, so all right, he's a man, clearly. And clearly a masculine-looking man. Good for him. And here he is, giving this comment, and his comment is, quote, "My dog passed away today, and despite how minimal the love may seem, I loved him dearly, and this song is here especially in my time of need. Like everything else in my life, I'll get through this, ... And that's his comment, and that got 86 likes. What the fuck is wrong with us? Oh my god. The fuck is wrong with our society? So some of these comments, some of the comments are him. He got 12 replies to his comment here, and some people are saying, "Sorry, dude. Sorry for your loss, brother." Another person, and the man who said this is saying, "Thanks, I appreciate that." To everyone, why the fuck are you doing that? I mean, it's one thing if a chick is doing it. If you're a man. Okay, I mean, sure, men can benefit from close relationships with dogs. Yes, they can have an emotional bond, and I'm sure this man really was heartbroken, and I'm sure he did love that dog. And yeah, I think that's already not healthy, in my opinion. I mean, I know a lot of people would argue with me and say it's quite healthy. I don't know. I mean, to me, I think that's kind of weird to get into that. It's still an animal. It's still a beast at the end of the day. Yet, but. Fine, we can disagree on that, but as a man, why would you want to advertise that on YouTube just to the random public? Or even on social media, even to people who are acquaintances? Why would you want to soak up that, what is that? Is that like being an emotional tampon? Maybe not quite, but it's sort of like putting your emotions out there for something that you want to be validated. You want other people to tell you to, it'll all be better. Is that what you want? Is that what the guy wants? That's not That's so lame. Why would you do that? That's lame. It's weird. I mean, get a fucking life. Someone told him no one cares. So at least some people are calling him out on this. Calling him out, okay. But you know, I'm not calling him out. I'm just he's just one among millions here, okay? It's highlighting a very interesting phenomenon to me. And there's one comment to this guy's post from another man, I'm assuming, because and again, it's another man with, because I can see his face. He's got a red t-shirt. He has a beard, handlebar mustache. Like, what is this with, like, you know, so somewhat masculine-looking men getting into these, like, loving relationships with dogs? What is it with that? Anyways, and there's nothing wrong with having a beard, by the way. There's nothing wrong with having a facial hair. I'm just saying that's usually a sign of, you know, masculinity. I don't have facial hair because it doesn't look good on me. But what the fuck? I like to shave. But, you know, but I'm just noticing that, like, oh, okay, it's very strong, manly men. It's like, but then it's like, I love my dog. Oh, I love my dog so much. Anyway, so this other guy is saying in response, I love my dog more than I have ever loved another human being. And he thinks I am a dog, or God, or both. But yeah, it's deep. You must be devastated. I'm sorry. It's like, man, what the fuck? This guy is even more fucked up. This man, this 40-looking, he's, yeah, about 40 years old, saying that I love my dog more than I have ever loved another human being. Get yourself together, man. What the fuck is wrong with you? What is happening to our society? Are we going crazy here? What the fuck? So, in conclusion, I mean, like, yes, it's true that it's very true that humans can have a very deep connection with dogs and other animals too, like dolphins and maybe all animals. Well, you know, maybe not grasshoppers, maybe not spiders, but you know, mammals. You know, they can have this very deep psychological and intuitive connection and understanding, and it's true. I get that, but then what I don't get, what I find so hard to grasp, is this, like, moving into this realm of, like, okay, it's beyond that. It's like, now it's a loving relationship. I love that dog more than I love any other human being. What the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah, that dog may love you. I don't know. Yeah, it does love you, perhaps, in some reality. But if you had some gun that could, you fire the gun at this dog and it would, you know, like in Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. That's an old movie, but you know, it like makes you bigger. It can shrink you, can make you bigger. So you shrink, you blow up the size. Okay, let's say you do that with a cat. You blow up the size of your favorite cat that's you're petting every day and you love this cat so much. All of a sudden, the cat is the size of a lion. That cat is going to kill you. It might not kill you right away. It depends if it's got food in its belly. It might play around with you, and then it would start scratching you, and you'd be like, hey, cut it out, and then it just like mauls your face off. It would be the same cat that had been loving you for all those years. And if you did it with a dog, I mean, yeah, I know you like to think it's like going to be loving you, but look, a dog is like is the same family as a bear, okay? So it's the same canine, it's a different species, but it's in the same canine family. So if that dog were the size of a bear, yeah, it would do accordingly what a bear would do to a human. Okay? And that's all I have to say for now. Hasta luego, amigos.